see once more the green fields beyond our house, where we relaxed and enjoyed long walks together. Please invite all my dear friends and put on a big feast, Mother dear, because I'm coming to tell you the most horrendous story that you ever heard, about my miraculous circumvention of death on so many occasions, and about my loneliness for so many years. A very familiar voice seems to be calling out, as if from heaven. Do not enter Tarnogrod, my dear child. There is no one there to listen to you any more. With a sudden quiver in my heart, I wake up from that fanciful vision, from that nightmare. When fully awake, I remember, and soon determined to write my story, not just for my dear, lost, annihilated family and friends, but for the whole world, so that they too may remember and not allow the memories of those dreadful happenings to fade away, like leaves in autumn. Tarnogrod. As the immaculate boots of the Nazi soldiers trampled the pastoral tranquility of that village in the Polish countryside, my life was about to change starkly and irrevocably. I was to be plucked from the warm bosom of my grandparents, parents, brother and sisters, and cast out to survive as best as I could, to do battle with the elements in an increasingly hostile world. Very soon, events overtook my family and me, and the systematic annihilation of the Jewish population of Poland began. The appalling conditions that my people endured, and the civilized world's silence in the face of such evil, stick in my mind like a yellowed, dog-eared photograph. The photograph of the most awful chapter in the history of mankind, the Holocaust. There is an old saying that others may fear what the morrow will bring, but I must tell the world what happened yesterday. My story may seem fantastic or fanciful, but it is all true. It all happened to me in my lifetime, not 100 years ago, but just one short generation ago. We owe it to the dead to keep their memory alive by reminding the world of its responsibility never to forget. For to face the future, one has to understand the past. Book 1. Flight. Chapter 1. The river runs peacefully. I was born into an observant Jewish family in Tarnogrod, a small town deep in the heart of Poland, in the vicinity of Lublin. My parents had 9 children, 3 of whom died in infancy of dysentery and influenza, illnesses for which there was no cure in those days. In retrospect, I can see that they were the lucky ones, for they were spared the agonies and suffering that lay in store for the rest of my family. In the early 1930s, my father, Yitzhak Shora, left for Uruguay on a business venture. Times were very hard in Poland, and he was the only breadwinner in our family. His brothers, Yakov and Malach, were already there, and they settled in Uruguay for good. Thus they escaped the events that were to bring about the annihilation of my entire family, and of 6 million of our people. About 2 years after his departure to South America, my father returned to Tarnogrod, to my mother and us children, from whom he could not be parted any longer. At first he believed that he could settle in Uruguay, but he soon realized that it would be too difficult to bring up children there in a religious manner, for at that time Uruguay had no Jewish schools, or even an established Jewish community. To sustain our large family, my father engaged in many small businesses, but eventually he gave those up and decided to become a wholesaler of fruit. He began by leasing a few orchards on the outskirts of our town. Later, he leased them from farmers in adjoining villages like Lukova and Kimelek, and other places whose names I no longer recall. He would lease the orchards when the trees were still in bloom, so that he could estimate how much fruit they would produce. He was very seldom wrong.